So you want to learn hop whips. I don't blame you. Whether it's because you want to look cool at the skate park, or you actually want to improve your skills, or maybe you just don't like your shins. Whatever the reason, I'm going to help you out. Okay, so first things first, what do you need to do a hop tail whip, and what does your bike setup need to be like? I wouldn't go out trying hop whips if you don't have a pair of knee pads, ankle pads, some beefy shoes, and a helmet. You want to do anything that you can to build confidence so that you don't worry about slipping a pedal or hitting your head or sliding out. You don't want to have that stuff in the back of your mind because the only thing you want to be thinking about is landing it. I've seen dudes take links out of their chain, slam their back wheels, lower their seat, move bars back and forth, change stems. I've seen people buy completely new wheels because they think that the ones that they have are too heavy. None of that matters. It's a bike at the end of the day. If you can tail whip, you can tail whip a light bike, you can tail whip a heavy bike. The weight of your bike won't be the deciding factor as to whether or not you land the tail whip. So don't worry about that. If you have a bike, you can tail whip on it. I guarantee it. How do you know when you're ready to start doing hop whips? How do you know that you can land it? Because this is something that I thought about a lot when I was learning it was, am I good enough to do this? Because it is a hard trick to do. You know, it's not a beginner to an intermediate trick. It's definitely more of an advanced move. I'd say really the only thing that you have to be able to do, you want to be able to comfortably hop 2 to 3 feet. If you can hop above your stem onto like a stem height or a bar height ledge, then you can probably get the pop that you need comfortably to do a tail whip. You don't have to hop super high when you do it, but if you do have that pop like in your reserves, then you don't have to worry about the time as much. You want to be able to have bike control. You want to be able to control what it does in the air and make small adjustments. Because a tail whip isn't something that you can just send and hope you land. You have to go into it knowing, okay, I'm going to land this. If you don't think that you're going to land it, you will not do it because you'll just keep putting your foot down because that's your brain telling you, wait a minute, I'm not going to land this, so I need to land on the ground, and you're always going to put a foot down. No, you need to know, I'm going to land this, I'm going to land on my pedals, I'm not going to put a foot down. And if you can go into it with that mindset, 9 times out of 10, you'll be able to land a tail whip that day. So just be sure that you can hop about stem height and have good bike control. That's really all you need to be able to do. So let's say that you have everything you need. You have knee pads, ankle pads, beefy shoes, a helmet. You can hop nice and high, you have good bike control. What should you start doing to actually practice the tail whip? What do you need to do? One of the biggest things that I always tell people is if you can kick a tail whip and get the bike to land next to you, you can land a tail whip that day. If you can get it under you, you can land it right then, and it's just a confidence issue. A tail whip is, in my opinion, more of a mind over matter trick than any other thing in BMX. Because it's easy to get the bike to land next to you. It's easy to get it under you, especially if you're doing it out of a flyout. Hop, maybe not so much, but it's still pretty simple once you can pick your foot up. But if you can get the bike under you or to the side of you, you can land it. The thing that I did when I learned hop whips that dialed them in is I leaned so far forward. You want to be looking down past your front wheel. You want to be so over the bars that when you land, your upper body takes most of the impact. You want to take as much of the weight of the landing off of your legs as you can, because that'll make it a lot easier for you to just slap your feet on, and you don't have to worry about getting a pedal bite. If you do slip a foot, you don't have to think about rolling your ankle or anything like that because your arms took most of that impact. What I see a lot of people doing most of the time is they either will kick it and the bike will land next to them and they'll reach their front foot onto the pedal. That's what I used to do. And another thing is they'll kick it and they'll get it under them, but they'll only put their back foot on. You don't want to even think about your back foot. Your back foot doesn't matter. You will never land a tail whip back foot first. Only focus on your front foot. If you can catch front foot and you lean over the bars like I was telling you, then you'll land it. My first tail whips, I landed one-footed, super sloppy. But my back foot didn't touch because I was so far over the bars that I was just able to take the impact with one leg. And obviously once I got better at it, I was just able to, get my back foot more and more on the pedal. And now I can catch 2 feet and I don't even think about it. It's a hop whip at the end of the day. You can catch cranks, you can catch pedals, you can land on your seat, it doesn't matter. If you land a hop whip, it's a hop whip. Nobody's going to give you a hard time because you land a little sloppy. And it's going to be sloppy at the beginning. Your first hop whips aren't going to be clean. But that's just part of the process. It's not an easy trick. When I do tail whips, it's about 50% kick, 50% arm. When I hop, I really don't think about kicking it that much. The only thing I'm thinking about is doing that oval. It's like an oval motion that you do with your arms. You have to really spin the bike and pull it back under you. That's what's going to give it that last bit of rotation, is just how fast you pull the bike back under you. You want to pull the bars into your waist as much as you can. So me, I kick the bike counterclockwise. And so once the bike is about halfway in the rotation of the whip, I pull the bars back and to the right because I want to pull the back end of the bike. I want to swing it back to me. I don't reach for the pedals as much as I try and get my pedals to my feet. And if you do that, then you'll be able to just get the bike to you every time. Kicking it is what starts it off, but the arms is what finishes it. You cannot do a tail whip without using your arms. You'll get super sore first couple days just from doing the motion because it's a weird motion. You don't really do it with anything else, but that's just part of the process too. A lot of people are afraid to do hop whips because they think that they're gonna slip a pedal and roll their ankle, and those things might happen. You know, when I was learning tail whips, I sprained my ankle 3 times, but it was part of it. The only reason I did that was because I didn't know what I was doing. I would send tail whips off of stuff with no intention of landing it. I just wanted to try and get the bike under me. But if I had committed and just went for the pedals, I wouldn't have gotten hurt. You won't get hurt on a hop tail whip. You might fall, you might hit your knee on a stem, but you're not going to actually get hurt if you're going slow. Another big tip that I give people with hop whips is to aim for the seat. Try and put your feet on your seat, because if you aim for the seat, you're obviously not going to land on it, but your feet will be in the perfect position to just fall down onto the pedals. That's something I think about every time I do a tail whip, whether it's hop, fly out, on hips, out of banks, into banks, whatever it is. I always aim my feet for the seat, because I know that if I do that, it's like a fail-safe. You'll always just land on the pedals. I like to go at a moderate speed when I do hop whips. When I learned them, I would go at almost a dead stop, and it's definitely harder to do it that way. You want to at least have a couple of cranks of speed, because that momentum will make riding away from the tail whip so much easier, because landing is the hardest part. But at the end of the day, just go at a comfortable speed. Definitely don't go too fast. That'll make it harder to commit, especially if you don't know how to do it. Go as fast as you comfortably can, because the faster you go, the easier it is, bottom line. A lot of people like to lay on their back and kick the bike in the air to try and practice the motion, and that might help you. That helps some people, but it never helped me. I wouldn't recommend it. Just do the tail whip. So to sum it all up, you want to have some knee pads, ankle pads, thick shoes, a helmet, maybe some gloves, whatever you need to feel confident so you feel safe. Do that. Go at comfortable speed. Don't go too fast because it'll be scary, and don't go too slow because it'll make it harder. You want to pull up, get a nice big ol' hop, lean as far forward as you can so that the bike is almost behind you. You want to look down at your front wheel, aim for the seat, and then commit to landing on the pedals. And then once you land, ride away, and you just did a hop tail whip. It might take you a little while to start landing them, and it might take you even longer to get them perfected and clean them up and make them look how you want them to. But just know that it's one of those things you really have to go hard at them for a while. They're not going to come overnight. Nothing comes overnight, especially a trick like a tail whip. Same goes for bar spins, 360s, manuals, nose manuals. Tricks don't happen overnight. It takes time, and then once you can do them, it takes time to get good at them. That's just how it is with BMX and everything else in life. So don't get discouraged if you can't land them. Don't get discouraged if you're scared to commit. I've been there. We've all been there. It's nothing to worry about. If every day you dedicate 10 minutes to practicing hop whips, I promise you'll land them within a month. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed today's how to hop whip video. Leave us some feedback in the comments. Tell us what you like, tell us what you don't like, tell us what you think needs changed. Tell us if it helped you out, and be sure to let us know what how-to you want to see next. I'll see you on the next video. Keep hop whipping.